Yeah, I mean, how do you rate them compared to the team in back at that time, 2017?
I think Australia are always a very dangerous team. You can never really underestimate them. They're always full of great players, and they've got great individuals. And I think the difference is now probably collectively they sort of come together a bit more. They've won their last 5 games, and they're looking very good. But I think back then as well, they still had great players and a very great team. So it's a different challenge, but one we're looking forward to.
And you mentioned, sort of great players. And how do you rate your opposite number, Michael Hooper, in the list of open sides?
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he? He's a good player. He's done well. He's done well at international level and at club stuff. He's a great player in the game, and that's why we love these games as players as well. You get to challenge yourself against top players, world class players, and I look forward to it.
And just sort of in the personal things, sort of like looking back in your Lions experience, I was just wondering, if you felt that you get a fair sort of crack of the whip with the Lions. Obviously, you only had one sort of like replacement appearance in actual sort of test himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. We sort of tried to move on from there now. That's 3 months ago, but I look back on the Lions tour with fond memories. I thought it was, I really enjoyed my time out there. Game time wise, obviously in the test, I would like to play more, but I think over the last few years, I did everything I could to try and get selected for that tour, and performance wise and training wise. So I've got no regrets from it. And different coaches like different things and want different things sometimes, and that's the way professional sport goes. So it's I still look back on that tour and had a really good time. And selection.
Great. Great. Thanks very much. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Hey Hamish, are you feeling fighting fit? How good was it getting the kind of 40 under your belt at Murrayfield on Saturday? And how, forgive me, I was wrong, is it your groin that had been kind of bothering you over the last few weeks?
Yeah, my groin's been bothering me for a while, so it was sort of it was great to get some time off after the Lions tour, and then have a good bit of a rehab block as well. I mean, it looked all a bit rushed by the end of it, only because we sort of ran out of club games. And ideally, it probably wasn't the ideal circumstance to come back into international, but I thought it was good to get 40 minutes under my belt. And I think the boys, the other Scottish Lions, obviously the English guys down south came back a bit sooner, but the other Scottish Lions guys, they were back a week before me. So it's not like I've missed a mad amount of rugby. So I feel like I'm in a good place now, and hopefully those sort of issues are behind me now.
I guess when you're going up against a back row like the Wallabies have got, you're going to want to know that you're at 100%. Your body's going to be absolutely at it for this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go into all these games 100%. I think the reality is that probably no rugby player is ever 100% going into a game. But no, you have to be fighting fit, and whether that's against Tonga, Australia, South Africa, you need to be fit for all these games. And if I wasn't fit, I wouldn't have played last week against Tonga. So no, I felt good. I felt good in that game, and sort of the plan was always to get limited game time in that one.
Agro for Scotland's you've been quite settled with Jamie and Matt over kind of recent times. Matt saying there, one of the good things is that you're always looking over your shoulder, that you're feeling the competition. Do you feel that's the case? As you're a senior player, a Six Nations Player of the Year and a Lion now. Do you still feel pressure for your jersey?
100%. I think that's important, that you've always got pressure on you. You can never relax and never rest on your laurels. And I think that's credit to all the back rows we've got in the squad and all the back rows we've got in Scotland at the moment. That competition is always tough, and that's what you want, really. You never really want to feel that that you're a shoo-in or anything like that. And I think that's a great place for Scottish rugby to be. And we've always been very fortunate with the back rowers that we've had in Scotland. It's one position that we've never really struggled with, and I think that's the case now if you look at the depth we've got in the back row across the board.
Cheers.
Thank you.
It was just touched on your Lions experience. What what do you feel that you take into kind of this season and these Scotland games? The benefit of having that experience. What do you feel you're a better player in any specific kind of sense going into kind of looking back from what you gained over there?
Yeah, I think you're probably a better player without knowing it. It's difficult when you go away on a line tour. It's not like you're learning anything new when you're there, meaning skill set wise and stuff. But I think just being around those sort of players, being in that atmosphere, in that environment for 8 weeks, I think subconsciously you'll pick stuff up and help with the fact that we've got 8 Scottish boys coming back into camp now, and hopefully you can sort of feed back to the group just help the group grow. That's what it's all about. I think the Scottish lads got a lot of confidence from that tour of coming back and actually realising how good our group is as well. We're out there with the so-called best players in the UK and Ireland, but I think it also filled us with confidence that a lot of our boys could have also been out there who didn't go. So we're pretty confident with the squad we've got moving forward, and I think it probably has helped the boys who are away as well.
And just looking at Australia, touching on the good results and the performances you've had against them, what's been the key to that you can maybe help you this weekend?
Just doing what we do. We've got to be very solid in D. Against them, obviously, last time out they got a red card pretty early on, so it's hard to say with that game because we sort of ran away with it. But we know that's definitely not going to be the case this time round, and we just got to be good in D and attack with speed and do what we do well. Do what we've been doing for the last couple of years now, and should be a really good game.
Thanks a lot. All the best.
Hiya, Hamish.
Hey.
I know I'm a couple of weeks late to this, but you had a significant birthday a fortnight ago. Were you able to celebrate it at all? Is Hamish Watson in his 30s a different man to Hamish Watson in his 20s?
I don't know what you're talking about. 28. Is
that right?
No, I'm still in a bit of denial. I actually didn't celebrate it that much, to be honest. I think it was like a Friday night, and I was actually warming up with the boys the next day or something on the Saturday. So just with the family, my wife and stuff like that, just chilled out, and maybe got like a takeaway or something. But no, you know what it's like. You just get on with it, and it's just another day, isn't it?
It is indeed. I know you've already sort of touched on Michael Hooper there a bit earlier, but when I think of your sort of style of player, dynamic back row forwards who, in the nicest possible sense of the word, are nuisances for the opposition for 80 minutes. I think of the likes of Hooper and David Pocock, before that, George Smith, a lot of Australian back row forwards. Are any of those sort of guys players that you've watched, sort of studied over the years and tried to emulate in a way?
I mean, only when we've played against them, I sort of watched them. I mean, Pocock was a great player, and Hooper's a top player as well. And whenever you watch those guys on TV, you do appreciate how good they are. And it's like I said before, it's going to be I'm the same age as some of those boys, so it probably wasn't so much that I'm looking up to them, but you definitely appreciate how good they are, and I think it's going to be a great challenge for me as well at the weekend.
Just one final one from me. Steve was just in here as well, and I asked him the same question, but given that they are so free scoring at the moment, is job number one at the weekend containing them, or the fact that Scotland are clearly a side that enjoy playing front foot rugby as well? Are you just going to go out there and give it to them from the first whistle?
Yeah, we've got to contain them. We've got a lot of attacking threat, and they've done very well recently. And I think our D over recent years, or definitely over the last year, has also been very good. So we hope that we're going to give them a slightly tougher ride than they've got recently. But like you say, our attack's good, but we know that we've got to defend first and make it difficult for them to score first, and then hopefully we can sort of show what we can do on attack. But I think we've got to concentrate on our D first. We know how much threat they have out there and in attack.
Cheers, Hamish. Best of luck for Sunday.
Thank you.
Okay, should we get the written section underway? Thanks.